want to speak with Charles Montpetit right now. The name may be familiar to you if you've been someone who followed closely the evolution of this Publisac story. We've been talking about it for years. Resident of the Rosemont-Petite-Patrie neighborhood here in Montreal. He was behind pretty much the first calls for public consultations on the Publisac over the years. So you could sort of say he is, in a way, one of the original people behind the move to eventually try to stop it. Charles Montpetit, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the program. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So again, I'm sort of, unofficially, I think we can call you like the, the father of the ban on the Publisac. How are you feeling about what's going on right now?
I prefer the term spokesperson because I'm not the one who called for it, and I'm afraid I must correct you. It's not a ban. It's what we were asking for is that the Publisac be delivered only to the people who wanted it.
Right.
We never asked for it to be pulled out of the market. It's just that rather than doing that, TC Transcontinental chose to put an end to it. So they're the ones behind that decision, not me.
They are getting around all of that by signing this new contract with Canada Post, right?
Again, I must take exception to all of that because what they are getting around is simply switching it to a smaller format without plastic wrapping. This is pretty much in line with what we were asking for. The new radar leaflet will be dispensing with 47 million plastic bags per year in Montreal alone. And the weight of the paper will shift from 26,000 tons to 16,000 tons. So that's a major progress. And what's left that's being delivered by Canada Post will be more respectful of the regulations that ask that the flyers be put directly in mailboxes. The old system used to hang them just about everywhere, and we wanted to put a stop to that. So all of these are gains, environmentally speaking.
Okay, so I guess I'm trying to understand how you feel, whether we are better off now or worse off now with this new system, which sees Canada Post's letter carriers delivering it to probably, at least initially, more addresses than we're getting it in the past, right? Actually,
no. The Publisac was distributed door-to-door to 90,000 places in Montreal.
In Montreal, yep.
And that accounts for the people who had stickers that said, no, we don't want it. Canada Post will respect those stickers. So basically, they're not going to distribute it to more people than the Publisac originally were distributed to. So it's not an increase in distribution. And by the way, I must also take exception with the statistic that was quoted earlier by TC Transcontinental saying that their new radar will save people $15,000 a year.
I think it was $1,500.
Yes, sorry, $1,500. That number stems from a study that was done by Dalhousie University, and the study concerned not just the Publisac or radar, but all flyers, including those distributed within the stores themselves, and it said up to $1,500. And as you know, when you say up to something, it could be anything way below that. So guaranteeing that people will save, as was said earlier, $30 a week through radar is ludicrous. When you say up to something, it means that you can only reach the maximum saving if you buy everything that's on special, including new fridges and ovens. Nobody does that just in order to save $30.
Do you use flyers in any form for grocery shopping?
I use the online ones, yes.
You do? Okay. Some people say it's hard to find them or it's clumsy to use them. They prefer the paper version.
I noticed that earlier. Most people who take the so-called defense of the people who are not familiar with going online are not taking in consideration the fact that in Quebec, 97% are actually paying to have access to the web. So the moment you start paying for something, it's because you actually use it. I don't think we should maintain a paper distribution along with the online diffusion of the flyers, just to accommodate 3% of the people who have so far refused to accept the digital world. We used to have phone books which were distributed to every door in Montreal and throughout Quebec, and we've dispensed with that, even though a small percentage of the population still enjoyed having those big phone books. But it was not environmentally sound. And it's about time that we start considering that some changes must be made if we are to reduce our garbage output.
Charles Montpetit, I appreciate you coming on. It's good to speak with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Charles Montpetit, resident of Rosemont Petite Patrie neighborhood here in Montreal.